In the hush of a warm Tennessee evening, Graceland's gates gleamed under the soft glow of the moon. Inside, the mansion was alive with the quiet hum of life, though the world outside knew only of Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll in all his dazzling glory. But behind the grand facade, a more intimate story unfolded. The story of Elvis and Priscilla, two people whose love was tested by fame, family, and the challenges of raising a child in the spotlight. Their journey began far from the lights of Graceland in Germany, 1959. Elvis, serving in the U.S. Army, was already a global icon. At a party one evening, he met a young 14-year-old girl named Priscilla Beaulieu, the stepdaughter of an Air Force officer. She was poised, soft-spoken, and carried an air of calm that immediately captivated him. The conversations they shared stretched late into the night, filled with music, laughter, and a sense of connection that neither expected. There was something unspoken, a spark that bridged the distance between their worlds. Over the following years, despite the Atlantic Ocean and the whirlwind of fame, their bond deepened. Elvis returned to the United States to continue a skyrocketing career, and Priscilla navigated adolescence while writing letters, dreaming of the moments they could share. Their visits were brief but filled with anticipation, each meeting weaving the threads of a relationship that would shape both of their lives. They were young, yes, but in their hearts, a profound understanding and admiration was growing. By 1963, Priscilla moved to Memphis to live closer to Elvis, staying under the careful watch of his father, Vernon, and stepmother, Dee. Life at Graceland was unlike anything she had ever known. A mansion filled with music, friends, and the constant presence of Elvis's entourage, known as the Memphis Mafia. Nights often stretched into dawn with piano sessions, informal concerts, and spontaneous road trips that reflected the rhythm of Elvis's world. For Priscilla, it was both magical and overwhelming, a delicate balancing act between ordinary life and the extraordinary life of a rock and roll legend. In May 1967, they married in a quiet ceremony in Las Vegas. To the public, it was the culmination of a fairy tale romance. But behind the cameras, their lives were complex. Exactly 9 months later, Lisa Marie was born, and the fairy tale seemed complete. Elvis held his daughter with a tenderness that many did not associate with the king of rock and roll. Friends recalled the quiet moments when he would watch her sleep, whispering to her and marveling at the miracle of fatherhood. Priscilla, too, embraced her new role, though she soon realized the challenges of raising a child in a home constantly in the public eye. Even amid happiness, strains appeared. Elvis's career demanded extended tours and long hours on movie sets. Priscilla often stayed behind, providing stability for Lisa Marie, while Elvis's absence weighed heavily on both mother and daughter. Their love remained strong, but the pressures of fame introduced challenges that few could fully understand. Elvis adored spoiling Lisa Marie, indulging her with gifts and experiences that were extravagant and often whimsical. Priscilla, however, wanted to instill structure and balance, fearing that their daughter's world of luxury might prevent her from learning essential life lessons. These differing approaches to parenting sparked tension, often quiet but palpable, a subtle friction that neither could ignore. By the early 1970s, Elvis's schedule had intensified with his Las Vegas residencies. Long nights, rigorous performances, and the constant presence of fans created physical and emotional exhaustion. Priscilla, meanwhile, began carving out her own identity, pursuing interests in karate, acting, and modeling. Their conversations, once effortless, became increasingly layered with unspoken concerns and frustrations. Still, both remained dedicated to Lisa Marie, ensuring that she felt loved and secure despite the complexities of their lives. Even in these moments of tension, there were times of joy and connection. Summers at Graceland were filled with laughter, music, and family gatherings. Elvis delighted in creating memorable experiences for Lisa Marie, taking her on horseback rides and impromptu adventures around the estate. He sang gospel songs late into the night, sometimes drawing Priscilla and Lisa Marie into the music, creating moments of warmth and intimacy that remained etched in their memories. Yet the strains could not be ignored forever. Priscilla, seeking autonomy and growth, communicated to Elvis that she needed space to develop her own identity and pursue her ambitions. Elvis, deeply in love and protective, struggled with this request, but ultimately recognized that it was necessary for both their well-being. This realization marked a turning point in their marriage, a shift from romantic partnership to a more nuanced and complex bond that would ultimately prioritize the well-being of their daughter. Their separation in 1972, though amicable, was emotionally charged. The couple had spent years building a life together, and the decision to live apart was not taken lightly. Friends observed that despite their differences, both were committed to maintaining a sense of unity for Lisa Marie. Their divorce in 1973 was finalized with grace. Walking out of the courthouse hand in hand, they demonstrated that their bond, though transformed, endured. In the years that followed, Elvis remained a devoted father. He called Lisa Marie regularly, ensuring she felt his presence even during his extensive tours. Priscilla provided stability and guidance, fostering an environment where Lisa Marie could thrive. Together, they navigated the complexities of co-parenting under the public eye, balancing love, discipline, and the pressures of fame. Elvis's health, however, began to decline. The demands of performance, the pressures of celebrity, and a reliance on prescription medications created challenges that Priscilla and close friends could not ignore. Still, his devotion to Lisa Marie never wavered, and even amid personal struggles, he maintained a presence in her life, creating lasting memories that she would carry into adulthood. After Elvis's passing in 1977, Priscilla assumed responsibility for preserving his legacy, transforming Graceland into a space where fans could connect with his memory and artistry. She ensured that Lisa Marie understood not only the global icon her father had become, but also the loving, complex man he was behind the scenes. Through interviews and her memoir, Priscilla shared stories of joy, challenge, and growth, painting a portrait of a life rich with love, imperfection, and resilience. This story, while intertwined with fame, is ultimately a human one. It is about love under pressure, about raising a child amid extraordinary circumstances, and about navigating the challenges of partnership when individual growth becomes necessary. Elvis and Priscilla's story reminds us that even those who live in the public eye face struggles familiar to us all. The desire for connection, the need for independence, and the responsibility of raising a child in a world that watches every move. Even their conflicts, sometimes misunderstood as explosive, were often quiet, nuanced moments of negotiation and compromise. They were two people deeply in love, learning to balance personal desires with shared responsibilities. Their ability to maintain respect and cooperation despite the dissolution of their marriage remains a remarkable testament to their character. Lisa Marie's childhood, marked by this delicate balance, was rich with experiences of both freedom and guidance. She learned from her father's creativity and generosity, from her mother's strength and insight, and from the example of two people navigating love in all its complexities. The laughter, music, and lessons of her early years were a testament to the enduring bond her parents shared, even when living apart. Reflecting on their journey, one can see that Elvis and Priscilla's love was never simple or static. It evolved, shifted, and adapted in the face of challenges. They faced the pressures of fame, the responsibilities of parenting, and the personal growth necessary for each to thrive. Through it all, their connection remained, a bond of love, respect, and shared history that shaped not only their lives but also the life of their daughter. The story of Elvis and Priscilla is more than one of fame or public perception. It is a story of humanity, resilience, and enduring love. Behind the lights, the cameras, and the music, they were two people striving to be the best parents and partners they could be. Their choices, their conflicts, and their reconciliations are a reminder that even the most extraordinary lives are built on moments of tenderness, challenge, and unwavering devotion. So as we imagine the quiet halls of Graceland at night, the soft glow of lights reflecting on polished floors, we can hear echoes of laughter, the strains of a piano, and the unspoken understanding between two people who loved each other deeply. Their story continues, not in moments of conflict, but in the legacy they created together, a life of music, love, and a family shaped by the most human of experiences. Elvis and Priscilla's journey is a testament to the enduring power of connection, the complexities of love, and the resilience required to navigate both. It reminds us that even those who seem larger than life face struggles, joys, and heartbreaks just as profound as our own. And in their story, we find inspiration, compassion, and the quiet, lasting proof that love, true love, can endure beyond the limits of circumstance, time, and even tragedy. Thank you for staying with us all the way to the end. By now, you've witnessed a side of Elvis and Priscilla's life that few people ever get to see. The love, the challenges, the laughter, and the tender, intimate moments that define their family. But even after everything we've shared, there's so much more to understand about these remarkable people and the life they built together. Elvis Presley wasn't just a performer, a singer, or a global icon. He was a father, a husband, and a man trying to balance an extraordinary life with the ordinary responsibilities of family. Priscilla, strong, graceful, and resilient, navigated the complexities of being a mother, a partner, and an individual in her own right, all while living under the world's watchful eyes. Their journey teaches us about love, compromise, and resilience in ways that are relatable, even for those of us far removed from the world of fame. Picture Graceland on a quiet evening. The mansion is bathed in the warm glow of lamps, shadows dancing along the polished floors. Elvis sits at the piano, softly playing one of his favorite ballads. Lisa Marie, curious and playful, wanders nearby, sometimes joining in with laughter or a question. Priscilla watches, a soft smile on her face, taking in the rare moments of calm that balance the whirlwind of their lives. These moments, unseen by the public, invisible to the cameras, remind us that behind the legend, Elvis was a man who loved, who cared deeply for his family, and who cherished these private joys above all else. Think back to their early days. The excitement of young love, letters exchanged across oceans, the anticipation of visits, and the courage required for Priscilla to move into Graceland as a teenager. Imagine the mixture of awe and nervousness she must have felt walking through the grand halls of the mansion, adjusting to a life that was completely unlike anything she had known. And imagine Elvis, trying to balance his own desires, his career, and his devotion to this young woman who had captured his heart. Every choice they made, every decision they debated, shaped the life of their daughter and the story of their family. As Lisa Marie grew, the dynamics of family life became more complex. Elvis's tours and studio sessions often meant long absences, and Priscilla was left to maintain a stable environment for their daughter. They had different parenting styles. Elvis delighted in spoiling Lisa Marie with gifts, adventures, and experiences, while Priscilla focused on structure, discipline, and emotional grounding. Their approaches sometimes conflicted, but both were motivated by love. It's a powerful reminder that even families in extraordinary circumstances face the same challenges many of us do. Even amidst tension, there were countless moments of joy. Summers at Graceland overflowed with laughter and play, with family gatherings that included friends, musicians, and members of Elvis's close circle. He would take Lisa Marie on horseback rides, teach her about music, and create spontaneous games and adventures that delighted both mother and daughter. Priscilla, ever watchful, encouraged these experiences while ensuring that Lisa Marie also learned the values that would serve her throughout life. By the early 1970s, tensions grew as they often do in marriages strained by fame and constant public attention. Priscilla sought independence, exploring her interests in karate, acting, and modeling. She wanted a life beyond Graceland, a chance to define herself outside of her role as Elvis's wife. Elvis, protective and deeply in love, struggled to understand, but ultimately recognized that this was necessary for both of them. Their separation in 1972, though emotionally challenging, marked the beginning of a new chapter in their lives, one that would continue to center on love, respect, and their shared devotion to Lisa Marie. Even after the divorce in 1973, they worked to maintain a cooperative and nurturing environment for their daughter. Walking out of the courthouse hand in hand, they showed the world that love doesn't always mean staying together. It can mean putting your child first, maintaining respect and supporting one another despite changed circumstances. They demonstrated a level of maturity and dedication that few couples achieve, especially under the scrutiny of the public eye. Lisa Marie's upbringing was shaped by these dynamics. She learned generosity, creativity, and passion from her father, and resilience, wisdom, and guidance from her mother. She experienced the magic of Graceland and the reality of structured, attentive parenting. She learned that family is more than living under the same roof. It's about connection, communication, and unconditional support. Now, if you've stayed with us to this point, you're part of our journey, and we want to thank you. Your support is what allows us to share these incredible stories. By subscribing to our channel, you're joining a community of fans who appreciate the real, human sides of legends like Elvis and Priscilla. Every like, comment, and share helps us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers, allowing us to continue uncovering rare stories and insights that most people never see. If you're enjoying this content, there's even more waiting for you. Our other videos explore Elvis's creative process, his relationships with friends and collaborators, behind-the-scenes moments from Graceland, and even untold anecdotes from Lisa Marie's childhood. Watching these videos gives you a fuller picture of the lives of one of the most famous families in history. Each story adds depth, emotion, and understanding to the legend of Elvis Presley. Take a moment to reflect on the lessons from their lives. Love requires effort and compromise. Parenting is not always easy, but it is rewarding when done with intention and care. Even under the pressures of fame, family, and the public eye, the choices we make define the legacies we leave behind. Elvis and Priscilla's story shows us that respect, communication, and shared responsibility are as important as passion, affection, and devotion. We also want to hear from you. Which moment touched you the most? Was it the quiet nights at Graceland, the letters exchanged across continents, or the enduring love they shared despite separation? Comment below. Your thoughts make this channel even more special and help connect our community of fans. By subscribing and turning on notifications, you'll be among the first to see new videos that uncover rare insights, interviews, and behind-the-scenes stories. Imagine seeing footage and anecdotes that others will only hear about months later. Your engagement allows us to dig deeper, preserve these memories, and share them in a way that honors Elvis, Priscilla, and Lisa Marie's legacy. So don't stop here. Watch our other videos, explore our playlists, and immerse yourself in the fascinating lives of the Presley family. Every video brings a new perspective, a new memory, and a new connection to the King of Rock and Roll. By subscribing, liking, and sharing, you're helping us reach that milestone of 1,000 subscribers while also becoming part of a community that values real stories behind the music, the fame, and the headlines. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for supporting this journey. You've helped us create a space where fans can celebrate the lives, loves, and legacies of Elvis Presley and his family. And remember, this is just the beginning. There are countless stories yet to uncover, moments yet to share, and lessons yet to learn. Stay with us, keep exploring, and continue celebrating the remarkable life of the King of Rock and Roll, the incredible woman who stood by him, and the daughter who carried their legacy forward.